Very interesting additional table to what we saw. So what we see here, this is really what we saw before in the previous YouTube about clear proofs about the codes. Now here we have, interestingly, the same year, Mitavshin Lamed Vav, which is from 5736, exactly the year when the codes were distributed, when Professor Rips and Doron Witzum found about it, from Yaniv, who heard about it in the book of Rabbi Weissman, Torah Chemet, showed this. So here what you have is Kesel HaChoshech, it is really once in the Torah, by the way, from this year, which is Shemka, because we believe that all these things have to do with the name of God. So, what you see here, Kesel HaChoshech, then the darkness, it is really Choshech with Vav, it is really full darkness, from Tavshin Lamed Vav, the end to darkness from the year 5736. Amazing, Yud-Keh, name of God. Now, this is, statistically, as you see Professor Robert Haralik, with whom we did the codes, we have a site, one should look into it, very interesting site, which is torahcode.us. Then you find out about codes, about statistics, about very interesting findings. And what you have here, it is, they said, statistic 14 to 100,000, quite significant, 1.4 to 10,000. So definitely we have here a very, very significant table. And also, this really what I want really to show you, because this End to Darkness is the name of the documentary we did with Pinlat, Richard Shaw, and clearly showing this, the end of darkness goes with the time when codes came out to the world, because the codes really shows us that everything is the Torah. It means that we can see clearly, that everything is happening in the world really is in the Torah, which was the blueprint of creation. So it's not darkness. Darkness is when you don't see divinity, don't see God. But here, when you look into it, you see clearly God in this world, everything coming from heaven. So amazing, so expression, Kesel HaChoshech, the year, end to darkness, from the year 5736, with the codes, Kesei Yamin, if you remember, this we learned, the codes were called Kesei Yamin, the end of days. So here you have Kesel HaChoshech. So very amazing tables, we said, show this idea. Now let us see other tables which also are in the same direction. And this is what we have here. This is what Professor Haralik added to this Kesel HaChoshech, Kesei Yamin. This is the end of days, which was 5736, amazing, the Bible she saw. But here, Professor Haralik looked for the word soften, code, and he found it here amazingly. So he found end of days on I. As remember, this was the saying of the Rabbi Isaac Luria. This is what he said exactly, that this year will be the end of days, right? A stage of the end of days on I. And here, Professor Haralik found the word soften, which added to the statistic, not 14, but 4.5. Means that the code comes together with the end of days, Tavshin Lamed Vav, which is exactly the main idea of the codes, being really connected with the end of days and Mashiach. Now, let us see now another interesting table which also add to this idea. And this is, as you will see here, so beautifully, very long sentence, which basically, I think was found either by Mr. Rothenberg, but really, what I found is amazing, really, giving perhaps such great meaning to this table. So they found unbelievable. They found Sofen Torah, the Torah code, also to do with God, the Torah of God. And then they found interesting sense in Yesh Bilshon Ish. It means this is really the language of man, which is really also the idea of the codes. They have to do the letters. So this was the found. So there is in the language of man, and Torah code is not believable. You find this Sofan code here, and what I saw here so clearly fits with what we saw before, that all this Torah code and so on came to the word Mitav Shin Lamed Vav, very small skip, Mitav Shin Lamed Vav, from the year 736, and this is exactly the time, also the end of darkness, and everything goes together. Now statistically here is less than 1 to 2,000, because he did not check more, but it can be many more. So he only tried 1,000 times, so 1 to 2,000 was also enough to make it very, very significant. Then you have also interesting tables which add another dimension to the code. And this is really something so to do with secrets of the Torah. And this is also something which shows clearly that the learning of secrets, the Zohar, it's written clearly that before Messiah, it is important to learn the secrets of the Torah and to see really much more in the Torah. And code is part of the secret, we see clearly, so learn is all. And we say this is written also that this is, which will bring, the Zohar says clearly, that studying the secrets of the Torah, of the Zohar, properly, definitely, keeping mitzvot and living the Zohar in a sanctified way, will help to the coming of the Messiah. So it is so interesting that you have here the sentence, Limud Sod, studying the secrets of the Zohar, Zohar, and that Sofen, the code from where you start learning this, Mitav Shin Lamed Vav, unbelievable, from the ear. Mitav Shin Lamed means there is a big teachings in the codes. In fact, this is really called the doctrine of Messiah. You have Mashiach here, because code is not only what you see here, one nice here, one table nice here, no, as you could see yourself yesterday, when I put in the code few tables together, which goes together, each one really complements and adds to the other. I mean, there is a proper learning, you know. One have to make yeshiva for learning. So it is learning. It is part of Limud Sod, part of the studying of secrets. And this to do together with studying the Zohar. And this will bring Mashiach, amazingly. And against what you find here, that the Torah text, what Professor Ahralik found from New York, we mentioned that he is known to be a great scientist. Yeah, he was the head of the pattern recognition in the image processing. He was the inspector of NASA. So he is now distinguished professor in New York University, lives now in Monsey, became Orthodox Jew. He was before in Seattle, the head of the Department of Electrical Engineering. So he found here that is less than 1 to 10,000. I could find more, but this is amazing what we found here. So, as we said, one can see much more about the codes there. So, also the importance of studying, learning the secrets of the Torah properly, and the Zohar, and really codes are part of it, because also part of the Zohar. So, very, very significant, interesting tables that you see here also add to the picture what we saw before, that everything starts with Tav Shin Lamed Aleph. The date 5736 was really a very important date. The Zohar, the Ari says the Zohar says, it says from the year 5736 it will become the end of days, above. By the way, it's very important to emphasize it is above. It means that we don't see perhaps down such great changes. We have the codes, but it is still really the end of days, but not yet complete one, because complete one we see down the Messiah, Mashiach coming. So very, very important what you see here. So let us see now really the tables, one after the other, see how they come together, and definitely it will be a beautiful picture of all together. So then, as we said, we saw Ketz Ayamin above, which is Etav Shilamed 576. This is as the code, evidential code, statistically 6.5 to 100,000. This we saw yesterday, but you have to know that besides statistic, that Dr. Rothenberg, who also became Orthodox to the codes, and did wonderful work in book also, All Is Truth. And he says that the statistic is not so important. What's important is the best missing and minimal. So when you have here Ketzai Amin, the best missing with 8 Tafshin Lamed 5,700, which is the best meeting, and you have with the code best meeting. So therefore this itself also makes the table very significant. Not only significant of statistic is 6.5 to 100,000 is big, because 6, yeah. But if you go on to also the concepts have to be the same, and best meetings. This is something which all those who are making codes and so on don't have it. They don't have minima, they don't have best meetings. Only they put a word here, a word there, but never a full description. This is why it don't have any meaning. All the other people who are doing codes in the New Testament, it works only in the 5 books of Moses in such a way when you have the whole picture, not only one word here, one word there. So, and this is very interesting, which is really the first table we showed before, and clearly very highly statistic and significant. Then we saw the additional word of Professor Alick, which to find the code, which makes it to 4.5 to 100,000. Yeah. Then we saw also the very interesting message of the importance of studying the Zohar, Limud Sod, studying the secrets of the Zohar, and the Sofen, the code is part of secrets. One should know that to learn about the codes is not only how to make codes, but to see how codes are connected. In fact, the work of Rips in the codes is to show how many tables are connected with the same subject and so on, because this is really the most important part of the codes, and this you can do also in the Torah. So then we saw also another interesting code, which was to do with the end to darkness. So important to know that this is a connection of the end to darkness, Lachoshech, from the year 5736, which is going together with the date of the end of days, and the finding of the codes we started this year. So you can see so clearly the end to darkness goes together with Ketzai Amin, the end of days, and this is all the same, definitely date, the same year. So this is definitely clear connection between the codes, which really taking away the darkness from the world, as you can see through the codes clearly, the divine providence, clearly. So this is a beautiful idea. I think that one can see the connection with the end of darkness and the end of days. And this is what we did our documentary with Richard Short, Pinlight, Case End to Darkness. And we said this is the name of the book which we did with Professor Rips, because it fits with the Kabbalah, with Zohar. We said clearly that the end of darkness really be in this year, Mitafshin Lamed Vav. Yud Kei is the name of God. So, another table which definitely added a lot. Then we saw the very long sentence, means it really, this is one sentence called Torah code, and this is, there is in the language of man, which is really Hebrew. And the most interesting that I found, that it all started Mitafshin Lamed Vav, from the year, so also small skip. So, and when you look all these things together, so definitely we have different idea about the importance of the codes, as we said. Really, I think the most important, because this is exactly what the Ari says, end of days, 5776, and code, the word code there, and also very highly statistic. We find, besides the fact that all these things are very much connected.